Hello and welcome to Module 12 for ED 5840 for the spring 2026 semester. So I'm sharing my screen. We'll go ahead and enter Module 12 and get going. And this um, takes us to a new concept in quantitative research. And there it goes. There it's loading up. Get loaded up. This will take us into regression, both linear and multiple regression. And I'm sharing a photo. I took this back during the Easter weekend back in April 2020. This is in southeastern Oregon near Jordan Valley. And this is what's called the Jordan Craters. And you're looking to the south and east towards the Owyhees of southwestern Idaho. And it was a beautiful spring day in the high desert. And it was a long gravel road back to this crater. So we'll go in and we'll get started. This module addresses linear regression, most specifically being focused on simple linear regression, but there's also an introduction into multiple linear regression. Linear regression is a statistical procedure used to determine the equation of a regression line to a set of data points. This regression equation can then be used to predict values of one factor given known values of a second factor in the population. Linear regression can be used to describe and analyze any number of factors. The primary focus of this module is to examine the relationship between two factors, simple linear regression. The chapter in the book that I'm going to have you read also goes into multiple regression. And this is just an introduction to that. In the advanced quantitative course, you will get more instruction and more opportunities to develop skills in running multiple regression. So the activities, you're watching the Module 12 Introduction and Instruction. I have put up the practice correlation data sets for Module 11. I'll open these up real quick. The answers give you the final answer, the Pearson, the Spearman, point biserial, and the phi. The final the final correlation statistic. Then read chapter 16 from the statistics for the behavioral sciences. And this is linear regression and multiple regression. And I've got the supporting PowerPoint slideshow. And then I've got a video for you to watch, a YouTube video on an introduction to simple linear regression, and then an introduction to multiple linear regression. And then I've put on practice linear and multiple regression data sets. And I will put up the answer keys in the next module, Module 13. Just a reminder, the quantitative research assignment number 2 is due on the 15th. If you haven't submitted it yet, please get that in. And also, just remember, this is a 1 to 2 page assignment. I've had several papers that have been turned in that have gone over the 2 pages. So just focus, and the whole purpose of limiting it to 2 pages is to give you the practice on narrowing down a paper to meet the guidelines of the submission. And this is what we go through when we conduct research, then write a manuscript about it. And there are guidelines we have to follow in order for the submission. And I reviewed, and I'm an editor. And if you go over the page requirement, I'll tell you this from experience, as an editor, I don't even read the paper. I send it back and say, this doesn't meet our criteria. You're going to have to narrow this down. So when you are writing a manuscript for consideration by a journal or a conference paper, make sure you follow the guidelines. Don't give them a reason to throw out your paper, your manuscript, without reading it. So then the last thing is to post your module reflection. I've posted mine. And the suggested completion date for Module 12 is April 19th. And now we're getting into the last month, the last 4 weeks of the semester. If you have any questions, let me know. Please go through and check your points, the assignments. Make sure that you have received points for every assignment that you have earned points for. And that concludes the introduction and instruction for Module 12. I'll see you next time.